Hi, and welcome to the Wolfstone Sink and Hob Cutout Guide. In this video, we will be demonstrating how to achieve an undermounted sink cutout using a jig and router. We are using this method as it is both the most accurate and preferred method used by professional acrylic worktop installers worldwide, not only for the undermounted sink cutouts, but for standard overmounted and hob cutouts as well. Even though other methods, such as using a jigsaw for the rough cut, will end in the same showroom-worthy finish, it will require additional router trimming and much more finishing work, only adding to the installation time. To protect your tools and prevent injury from falling material, we would suggest performing this cutout method on a solid, flat surface of 12mm MDF board, which you can place under the worktop that will prevent material falling to the ground once cut loose from the main surface. Please note, solid acrylic work surfaces require a minimum of 10mm radius for cutout corners and should never be cut square. This is to preserve the material integrity and minimize micro-fracturing. So, let's get started with our Wolfstone undermounted sink cutout. For this cutout, we are using a standard 12.75mm worktop cutter and a 30mm guide bush for our router. Our jig that we will be using for this cutout was created according to not only the sink's required cutout dimensions, but also including guide bush and worktop cutter dimensions for 100% accuracy. For even better first-time round results, use either single or double-fluted tungsten carbide spiral cutting bits. We are demonstrating with a standard cutter to show exactly what is possible with readily available tooling. To begin, place the appropriate jig on the surface. Position and square it up against the front edge of the worktop. With the jig then clamped in place, the router cutting can commence. Set your initial plunge cutting depth between 3 to 5mm depending on the cutting bit you use. With your router in position, bring the machine up to speed. Plunge your router to the set depth and then continue following your jig. Make sure your pace is slow, constant and steady. After the first run, clean out all remaining material from the cutting path and set a new plunge cutting depth by adding an additional 3 to 5mm and repeat the process until you have cut all the way through the thickness of the material. Remember, do not try to cut through the material's thickness in a single pass, but rather with multiple passes, increasing the plunge depth by no more than 5mm after each pass. Now you can remove the separated material and store it in a safe place for future colour matching and worktop repairs if needed. Your undermounted sink cutout is now ready for you to finish the exposed edges, add profiling to the top and bottom edges, and even cut drainer grooves into the surface. For more information on these processes, we recommend that you view our drainer groove and edge profiling video or visit www.wolfstone.za.com for the complete Wolfstone installation guide.